I think I'm going to start off tonight with Melton's fathead suggestion. Melton, God knows, I'm sure, does not mean well. I mean, come on. It's hard to say in this case. It really is. I mean, Melton and I got along really well, and I thought everything was fine up until this whole super tips forced debacle, forced error on the part of Patrick. So here we go.
On good terms with Pat Dixon right now, but you know what Pat Dixon should do? Pat, again, and I said it a million times, and I saw beloved chatter even back me up with this today. I saw your mea culpa supportive text chat of me in free chat, beloved chatter, and Kevin Shutterday, beloved chatter, was like, to be honest, Melton nailed this. Everyone thought Felicia was crazy. No one did not think she was a stalker, crazy, nutty bitch.
That isn't true. I mean, that's just, you can say that because that's what you thought. But you didn't even think that right away. And here's the other thing about that. I mean, give me a break. Patrick is one of the first to say, like, hey, I heard those tapes of you, man. You sound pretty weird. So, like, come on. Yeah, you had it all figured out all along. Also, you had a back channel to me so I could sort of tell you about a lot of the stuff that other people weren't privy to. Not everybody knows about every conversation that you and I had, even if it was on my stream. It's like not everybody thinks these things. A ton of people, did not know anything like that.
The more I learn, I 100% agree. Yet now also we all know that Pat Dixon is an obsessive, creepy, can't let it go, stalkery kind of guy too. And he's team.
Now, I love it when Melton goes into this mode. We all know that Pat Dixon is a creepy, stalkery guy, okay? We all know that. No. I mean, you're the only one advancing this shit. No one has referred to me as stalkery ever. I've been married 3 times. I've had, I've had a lot of relationships with women. None of them have ever said that I stalked them. Ever. And let me remind you, in case you forgot, Patrick, I'm 50. So I've had a lot of them. I've known a lot of women. And like none of them have ever said this. I've had a long career of women being mad at me for some reason or another. And like creepy. I'll give you creepy. A lot of people find me creepy. I've been called creepy since high school. What a creep. Because I have a certain way about me or whatever. Some people get it. Some people don't. But I'm so creepy that girls want to sleep with me for 3 years or or whatever. How long they want to marry me plenty of times. So, yeah, it might be creepy, but obsessive and can't let it go. Holy shit! I mean, when did you ever hear the name of my ex-girlfriend for a year after we broke up? Never. I had let it go. Don't you see what's so annoying about this? He's like, I don't even get it. Nobody cares. It's like, dude, I had let it go. It was behind me, and then it came back up again, and I'm the one who can't let it go. I mean, like, lose your YouTube channel. Lose your YouTube channel, Patrick, and see how that feels. Have that taken away from you out of spite. Okay. Lose that for no reason at all except spite. And then have somebody come and talk all this shit about you. I mean, like Patrick compared his like pedo issues or whatever that he's had, people calling him a pedo. It's like, yeah, that's different, man. Like you have a handful of clips of you like salivating over or whatever. Listen, Patrick, I mean, I'm not talking to Patrick right now. I'm talking to everybody. Patrick Melton is a funny, entertaining, great guy. Nothing. I consider, like he says, we're not on good terms right now. Well, I don't know why that is. Like, I really don't. I don't know why that is because, I mean, he can only be mad at himself. Nobody was talking. The only thing people were talking about when I first brought up Yeah, somebody's in my chat or somebody's super tipping me. They were like, wow, oh, Felicia's super tipping him. They weren't saying like, oh my God, super tips, information, all that shit. You did that by getting in the chat and splashing around about it. That's what really got it started. Streisand effect, you idiot. You could have picked up the phone and called. You could have done anything other than that and it would have been better. Send an email, anything. Nope. Nope. Let's make it public in the chat. And then since then, you've had to justify all this. And you've also said, like, oh, this is only for Pat's own good. I'm worried about him losing his Stripe, but you're going to lose your Stripe account. But then he, in the same breath, will be like, oh my God, this is like, you didn't think that was going to look bad for super tips? Okay. Got it. You're all over the place. You know, I mean, like, it's like that video the other night where he starts off saying, like, hey, if you think that I know when Pat Dixon gets a super tip and I can find out about that, you're crazy. Then later on, he's like, yeah, with admin powers at super tip, as somebody who has those, I can see anything that comes in for any show. So it's like, okay, here's how super tips works. First of all, let me make it clear. Let me make a couple of things really clear. This was from Stripe, not super tips. Again, let me make that distinction really solid. Stripe, the payment processor. Okay. So, like from Stripe, you get 4 pieces of information. You get a name, you get a zip code, you get 4 digits of a credit card or whatever they used, and you get an email address. Now, maybe it would be a good time to stop saying, I mean, just consider this. Stop saying that I shared anybody's personal information. Stop going along with that, because that's not true. I didn't share an email address. I didn't share, a name, I did share, but I didn't share a zip code, and I didn't share, and obviously I didn't share any digits from a card. So the name that I shared also, hey, if you saw her on LC, she says, hey, no big deal. I thought it was obvious it was me. It was obviously me. That wasn't some big own. She doesn't care. She's the person, and she doesn't care. Do you see? So nobody was harmed in this. So anybody saying that I shared anybody's information, excuse me, getting all upset. Anybody saying that is a liar or they're stupid. So why go along with that? Why do I need to be lumped in with like, oh, he's stalkery and obsessive and can't let it go? Patrick, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know anything that's happened. What have I done that's stalkery? What stalkery thing have I done? Name it. I mean, when somebody was repeatedly in my chat night after night and then started super tipping, I finally said, enough is enough. I want this to stop, and exposed it. That makes me stalkery. What's the stalkery part? Who can't let it go? It's all out there now. Jesus, dude. Okay, so back to the video, I guess.
Teamed up with a chick who he may or may not be with. Nobody seems to know, and it's none of our business. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
But now we all know he's like nuts.
Okay, all right. I'm crazy. I don't get. Why is it now we all know. Now everybody, we all know. He's nuts. I'm still polishing up my Melton impression, but I think that's pretty accurate. We all agree he's crazy.
And when it couldn't get crazier, Felicia goes back on today, and I'm just gonna read a private text from Moody.
This is from yesterday. Oh man, you're gonna read a private text from Moody. When I said here's how Super Tips works, I got sidetracked. Here's how Super Tips works. Moody is the brain, Patrick is the mouth. Now you'd think you would want to deal with the brain when you have a question, right? You don't. The brain will tell you one thing, and the mouth will tell you something very different. So any creators on Super Tip, when you have something that you need to know, Don't go to the brain. Go to the mouth, because the mouth is the one who's going to be pissed. The mouth doesn't know what the brain's doing, and the brain doesn't do what the mouth will do. The brain has no idea that the mouth is going to, like, somehow, after working together for all these years, somehow the brain doesn't know that the mouth spurg the out. And, you can talk about, oh, I'm in violation of this, I'm in violation of that. No information was released. No information was shared. Zero. I indicated that through the mechanisms that I had, and I wasn't, I guess, specific enough to say Stripe, but you can't operate super tips without Stripe. So anybody anybody who has super tips and offers that definitely has Stripe. So all the information that I have is available to anybody who uses it. That's kind of, and that's another thing. That's kind of how I know that this is not information you can do anything with. Stripe lets me have it. They let any creator have it. That means I can't do shit with it, even if I reveal it, which I didn't at all. So the brain doesn't know what the mouth is doing. Better deal with the mouth.
Because that's how I like to run things. This is basically what Felicia said on MLC today.
Don't dox her.
Taz blocked my account on Rumble. Then she followed me while accusing me of stalking her. So I used an account of a guy called Ron Fuddle to send a message to Pat to tell him to check his email to let him know that I was watching. I wanted him to leave me alone, but he said he wanted to say something to me, and I wanted to give him an opportunity to do that without seeking me out. I wanted him to know it was me and say what he wants, but I didn't want him to contact me. So Felicia does that today, and now everybody's just like, holy shit, like Felicia's batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. She had notes. She was looking up in her notes stuff. So, she's just got clumps of his hair and fingernails.
There's a lot of shit that Patrick and I agree on. The whole Stripe thing, I wish I would have been more clear about that to begin with. However, once I wasn't, you could have just, come to me directly. It would have been so much better. Also, now that it's like clear that I revealed no information of anybody, you can quit calling me stalkery and shit. I mean, you don't have to. Obviously, you say whatever you want. If you think I'm stalkery, I still fail to see what I have done that is stalkery. I mean, like, if I'm a guy who's so broke I can't leave my home, basically, how the fuck am I stalking anybody? What, cyber stalking? Is there any evidence of that? Is there any evidence of that? No, there's not. Give me a break. But we agree on everything. So I don't see what the problem is. I mean, like, what's the issue?
Nails and pictures on the wall, like Crazy Joe Davola. And now there's some fear, and I don't know what sparked this. I don't know if Pat mentioned it or not, that Pat Dixon might come to AC. I could talk to Pat about this forever, guys. Come play poker. I don't know. I don't know what Pat's financial situation is. If he can be taking trips and playing poker, and
everybody knows I'm penniless.
Shitting on super tips. But the point is,
when did I shit on super tips? When did I shit on super tips? He says, so Melton just says stuff. You have to understand that about Melton. He just says stuff. A lot of times that's kind of what it amounts to. Like I said, he's the mouth. Moody's the brain. Moody is terrified of Patrick. I've seen it. He not because like he's gonna like hurt him or anything like that, but he's just like very cowed by him,
I guess Felicia was worried about whether or not Pat would be there because she doesn't. I guess she's coming now, and she doesn't want it to be uncomfortable if Pat's gonna be there. So now Pat has an opportunity, just like Aaron Emholt.
Here's the fathead idea.
Aaron Emholt could come to Hackamania and it's dropping a fucking grenade. It's everything he wants to be, a comet busting through and coming out the other side and just leaving a mess. He has an opportunity. While I opened my mouth in the spur of the moment, I said this offer is good for 48 hours, just like Chad last year. could have gotten paid and a full flight out, but he's like, no, first class, and there has to be the right coffee, and I'm a Delta snob, and like everyone else flew whatever they flew. So Pat has an opportunity now that everyone's kind of leaning on the Felicia's more crazy side to announce that he's coming to AC.
Kinda leaning on that side. Kinda. She kind of seems more crazy than me. You know, one of the things Patrick has said a lot is like, what do you even want? What do you want? What do you hope to get out of it? What I hope to get is the shit that happened yesterday. As far as I'm concerned, I'm very willing to leave it behind. Have been. So, as far as I mean, you could say I'm a willing participant in that, yeah, when I'd be on a show and they would say, "Did you hit Felicia?" I would go, "No." But I guess that puts me in the Darvo category where denying anything makes you guilty of it. It's like, where the f you millennials get these ideas?
He should just say, I'm coming to AC. Pat should just blow it up and go, I'm coming to AC. It'll help your show. You'll be back in all the drama. You'll be back in all the clips. You're going to get so many super tips because people want answers to questions. You can do live shows from Atlantic City. People can bankroll your poker.
Which I don't want anything from Melton, okay? I don't want anything from anybody. But it's so he's like, I'll fly movie out and he'll get his room taken care of and everything. It'll be great. And then I offered Chad the same thing. I'll fly you out. You have 48 hours to accept. I don't know how Pat's financial situation is, but you should just go. Thank you. I don't want anything from anybody. I'm fine. If I wanted to go to Atlantic City, yeah, I could make that happen, but whatever.
I don't know. You got a real opportunity. If I'm Pat, I'm like, I'm coming to AC. It's how I wormed my way in the back door of this world.
Really, what woman was afraid of you being there, allegedly? You just said I was obsessive, creepy, stalkery. Here's what you should do. Show up where your ex-girlfriend is and where she's saying that she's afraid of you. Good idea. You know what? Nothing about that plays right into this. I think it would be good maybe for drama. Maybe that's why he's, advancing this. But yeah, no. I don't want to be plunged into that particular drama. You know what I mean? That's not fun for me. And I don't want to be seen as obsessive and creepy and stalkery because, again, nobody has ever said that about me. Nobody's ever. In fact, nobody even through all this current business has said anything like that except you. You're the only one that I know of who has said anything about me being stalkery. Holy shit. You think I got into my 50s and was like, you know what? This girl I dated for a few months, yeah, I'm going to stalk her. Obsessive? Dude. I mean, let's just say that when it comes to obsession, I trail far behind many people in this little community. Many people, obsessive. And if some people had said, some dumb shit, on MLC from time to time, yeah, I would clip it and talk about it. So what? I mean, I was trying to make laughs out of it for the most part. And okay, I mean, this is a guy who just is, look, I call it like I see it. Now, fortunately for me, I don't see it. So I get to just call it. That's the best way. Now, we all know Pat is creepy and stalkery, okay? We all know he's crazy. People don't know that. But you saying that helps them know it. But I guess that's the way it's got to be, right? Because I followed Moody's instructions to the letter, and I never revealed any information about anybody. Okay. And you're mad because you stirred it up in the chat.
Back in that first Atlantic City trip in 2023, I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going as a fan.
What if everybody was saying you're a And it's like, yes, we're all going to the little convention. Will you be there, Patrick? Go prove you're not a What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to hang out with? You, who calls me creepy, stalkery, and look. I mean, I'd love to hang out. I'd love to talk, but I mean, like, or how about what do you call it, Brennan? Hang out with Brennan and his people. Yeah, I could go scoop up some fans. I mean, like, oh well, we really had you wrong, Pat. Whatever. I mean, like, this is not like some kind of. I just think this is an eminently retarded idea. Infinitely, retardedly retarded idea. Terrible idea. Yeah. So go. You should just go and just play into these bullshit stereotypes that I am creating for you. You should just go and play into this persona that I say we've all agreed on. All right. So that's enough of that.